Cinderella spends years working as a dutiful housemaid, and yet she's a beautiful princess. Mistaken identity is a theme in many fairy tales and stories and movies that we love, and it's also a theme in the Christian gospel. Most of us, most of the time, live and labor under a sense of mistaken identity. Paul says in Galatians 4 that many of us act like we are slaves when in reality we are sons and daughters. We live as people who are under the law when in reality we are people who are under grace. We live as orphans when in reality we have a loving Heavenly Father and we are heirs to all of His riches. We labor and live under a case of mistaken identity most of the time. In Galatians 4 verse 7, Paul says it like this: "So you are no longer slaves, but God's children, and since you are His children, He has made you also heirs." This is a powerful verse, and it's fundamental to our understanding of who we are as Christians. I can tell you the moment in my life when the shift occurred, when I began to no longer see myself as a slave, but as a son. No longer as under the law, but under grace. No longer as an orphan, but an heir to my Father's vast riches. And sometimes the light bulb comes on later in life for some of us, as it did for me. But when it does, it's a powerful and amazing shift in a person's heart when they realize that they are a beloved son or daughter of God and not a slave, when they are free. This whole message of Galatians is about the shift from fear to freedom, from living under law to living under grace, from living as an orphan to living as a beloved heir of the family. This is the message Paul is trying to drive home to the church that he loves so much. You are no longer a slave, but a son. You can move from fear to freedom. You have a loving Father in heaven who cares and provides for your every need. May you begin to realize this amazing truth today on the inside, deep down. Amen.